All right, we're recording. Look who we got with us.
Hey,
Fresh off his adventure in Hawaii,
yeah.
Bob Babbitt and Ben Hoffman.
You
Oh,
know, I
Knuth.
I saw CJ's thing, and I saw Bob twice over the week, and I wanted to go over there, and I was like, I got other stuff going on. He's got other stuff going on, but I was gonna get you your picture and video of Mr. Babbitt, but I'll try to get it next time.
Ugh, it's too late, dude. You blew the chance, man. I thought for sure you're going to surprise me today with that.
Man, trust me, you would have had it before today. I couldn't have waited that long.
I know that's true. That's true. But all right, well, I'm going to get into these questions because we can talk about that a little bit more. But
Yeah.
I think some of these questions will actually bring us into that. So let's no more time. Try to have a little Indiana theme here today.
All right.
So the first question is from Bobby K. I remember that name.
No.
How long you been in triathlon, and what's your favorite distance? Starting easy.
Okay.
Lob it
so
up.
First triathlon was in 2013. So got 11, just finished 11 years, which is great. Crazy too. That's gone so fast. But favorite distance, I mean, you'd think it was full. I've done so many of them, but probably 70.3. There's a lot more just grip it and rip it. And you don't have to be as thoughtful in your actions, I feel like.
So you've done a lot of Ironman, and you just must be a glutton for punishment. We'll get to that later too.
Okay, good.
All right. So 70.3s is your answer.
Yep.
And you're sticking with it.
Yeah, lock it in.
Right now, I'm sure it's like, right. Especially after doing it. Yeah, fuck that distance. Full.
Yeah, I'm saying a little bit of that.
All right. So, but how did it feel crossing that finish line in Kona?
It was pretty amazing. I mean,
it
was awesome. I put a lot of weight, like knowing, I don't know, for the past 5 years that this was the goal. So this has been a big build, and mentally. But walking down the line, like once I got to the carpet, and the carpet there is longer, I feel like, than any other race I've done. So if you say I'm gonna walk the carpet, they make you earn it. So yeah, high-fiving everyone and trying to find all my people. I was lucky enough to have, including my wife and I, there were 18 of us from different circles of my life that showed up, mostly for Hawaii, but partially to see me finish that race. So that was amazing. And then you cross over they raise you up and then cross the finish line and drop you down. And we've all seen it on TV and stuff, but it's really cool. It was really dusty. It was really dusty there at the finish line. My eyes were watering a little bit.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, so it was good.
I mean, sometimes I think about things like that, and it's really emotional. What do you have? Do you know why you get? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I guess sometimes it just all comes together, and it just is like, is it a relief thing, or like, oh my God,
Yeah, I think for me it was more of a accomplishment thing. It was that it was such a long grind, and my first one was almost exactly 10 years ago, so it kind of bookended this decade of my life, and just to know so many people, I had a lot of friends doing it, CJ and Parker including, and it was just awesome. It was just, 20 years ago I knew about it, but I never even thought about it because it wasn't in just any possibility. 10 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, I was like, all right, let's go. So it was neat to be in that, and it is a almost mythical place. It's cool. It's really neat.
Yeah. Well, if it's any consolation, the first time I saw you on that Rev 3 podium, I thought you were going to be in Kona.
Yeah, but yeah. I appreciate it. Sorry to make you wait so long.
That guy's got potential. It might take 10 years, but I think he can get there. When you went over that finish line and you had that did the descent there, did it get your quads a little bit coming down there?
No,
you're flying too high then.
Oh, well, that, and I pretty much had to walk the last 3 miles. I popped at about 23, and I had some friends actually walk all the way out that far on the course to get me, and we just had a little party and walked it home. And I tried to do some jogging, but there was no point. So my quads were they'd been rested the last 20 minutes, that's for sure.
Oh, okay, good, good. Yeah, we've talked kind of about you've chosen to do quite a few Ironman, and I think this is accurate, but maybe not. Did you do 3 in 1 year?
I did
Yeah.
2017.
Bob
There you
Brady
go.
wants to know what was that like?
Oh, Bob Brady.
Yeah.
He's good. He's good with the stats. Um, physically it wasn't that bad, and I'm gonna catch slack for saying that,
Mm,
probably from my coach, who we all know. But it was mentally. Mentally is where it hurt. Like
mhm,
staying in, and I spread it out. Which going back, I would have done it. I would probably squeeze them closer. I feel like you could do it easier. I did one in June. I did Boulder in June, Chat in September, and then Cozumel in November. So the last one was 9 weeks apart. And you're recovered. You can probably get another training block in. That's not that bad. But I mean, I was basically in Ironman training all year, and that just got taxing. Like you're just over it. You're so
mhm.
over it.
Yeah.
So
You think there was like a hangover, of so to speak, emotionally and stuff? Did it kind of affect your next year?
oh yeah. I don't know if I did anything for the next 2 months. Like
Mhm.
anything. I'm pretty good at I'm incredible at the off season.
Yeah.
But I think I was doubly good at it that year. So it
Okay.
was it was a lot.
Um,
Good
okay.
question, Bob.
Yeah, Bob's he's good. This one is all right. So, what has been your favorite race to date, and why? Max Schumacher down there in
Uh,
Indianapolis.
venue or specific race?
Um,
Interpret that for Max.
Max wants. He's a big venue guy.
Venue guy.
Hmm.
Um, it's Chattanooga. It was my first one. It was my 12th one. It was several in between. Um, it's from Indy. It's a decent drive, so it's 7 hours, which there's not many that close. I love the city. I love the views. Um, I'm curious about the new bike course, but um,
Not
I
me.
love I love the aggressive help that the river gives you in the swim. Um, Coming out of the water and seeing those swim times is really good for your head.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I just Maple Street Biscuits, Maple Street Biscuit Company. I'm a fan of that. So yeah, Chattanooga is probably my number one.
All right.
All right.
I get it. I used to live there, as you know.
Yep. I do.
Well, I mean, all right. So, like this Kona thing, this fits this good here.
Yeah.
Cher is asking, how do you stay motivated to keep training over such a long season?
Um, I think you can't think of it as a long season. If you're able, you got to think of it in blocks and just break it down into smaller things and micro goals and stuff like that. I think it's a lot easier on yourself. And if you have races, breaking it up as well, that's a good way to. I mean, it's hard. You can't race all the time, but if you have a few spread out there, you can just kind of work from one to the next, and then you don't really have to think about it as a year. You can think of, I got a race in 2 months. Let's get through 2 months, or just go smaller. I have a week of training. Let's get through this week of training, and then I'll have another week of training. And it's what's the saying? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So
Yeah.
just kind of slowly move through it and try not to think about the long part, because you could get down. I've been there a few times. Just you're like, oh, it's so far away. So
Mm,
you got to trick yourself mentally, I guess.
yeah. You know, as you're saying that, it reminded me of one of my favorite sayings around Ironman, and that was from this guy Will Emery that I've talked about many times. But he always told me, never believe how you feel during an Ironman because it's going to change
Oh yeah.
every 20 minutes, good or bad. Just don't believe it. Just keep going or whatever. And I think that can almost be extrapolated out over a long Ironman season. It's like, don't believe how you feel today because 2 days from now you might feel amazing, or vice versa. Sort of like you got
Oh,
to just
absolutely.
level. Like that sounds like what you're saying. It's just kind of
Yeah. Oh
try.
yeah. It can always get worse. And if it's bad, it can only get better. So you never know.
Yep. All right. Let's see here. What would you have athletes focus on most to become a faster runner? Dev Washington's back.
I have become a hesitant believer in all the zone 2 stuff. Um, I, I, I'm not super fast, but I love running fast for me, my fast. And so I was one that would always just hammer. I would go hard every run.
Mm,
And, sometimes it'd be okay, but uh, it, it's not the way. It doesn't help in the longer stuff. I just had an athlete PR his half marathon, and he fought me a little bit about slow zone 2 easy runs. But I think after that race day, he won't fight me anymore. He's a believer. So it
mm.
yeah, for me that's the key. That's the key is slow down to go faster kind of a thing. You still have your fast and hard workouts, but you got to take easy.
Yeah. If you can't handle it, and we have this, sort of perception that zone 2 is easy, but I think if you're doing it right, it's not easy. In fact, I prove it every Ironman because I fall apart in zone 2. You know what I mean? I mean, that's
Sure.
the reality of a long distance race is like if you can't handle going that slow,
Right.
you can't handle anything.
But the mental training of it, right? You got to be okay. What is it? Be comfortable not being comfortable kind of a thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just a little bit of like discomfort, but not something you can't go through. You got to learn how
Yeah.
to keep doing that.
Right.
Excellent advice again, Chuck.
Thank you, sir.
All
And thank you,
right,
Dev.
so
Thank you, Dev Washington.
Dev, he's always good. Um, so you just came off that Kona. There's been a lot of emotion, and
Mhm.
you made that decision right away that you were going to go for the legacy, or like was it halfway through that you're like, shit, I'm gonna go for this?
Yeah, it was probably half, I guess. It wasn't right
Oh, yeah.
away. When I did my first one, I swore I'd never do another one.
Yeah. So
I
now
think
here we
I think
go.
like a lot do.
Yeah. So
I
you
thought I
kind
was a
of
one and done.
this has been a goal a long time in the making, and you've just
Yeah,
got.
yeah. I'm gonna say I accidentally signed up for 3 in 2017.
Yeah.
No, the details aren't necessary, but um, once those were in, that was gonna put me at 6. So at the end of 2017, I had 6 fulls, and I was like, "All right, we're here. Um, I guess we just might as well do 6 more."
Okay, but so all of that to lead into the actual question by Felton here. Where will you try to make improvements if you're going to even try to improve? Are you going to be racing next year, or you think you're going to back it off a little bit, or how are you going to? Have you thought about how you want to get better right now, or are you just kind of like, I'm going to get better by sleeping more?
Um, Inquiring minds. I, if not for, how do I say this? I think the full distance stuff, this could have been it. I, I've done a lot of neat stuff in that race distance. So for me, I want to try to qualify for Boston. So I'm gonna probably focus on running this year coming up. Do a lot of running. Me and the bike are still not friends, so I'll probably not. I don't need the bike for a while.
Mm,
So do some swimming. I may try some road cycling. Maybe do that, but not the TT bike. And just work on running. Kind of where my endurance career started was, doing running just to stay in shape, and then I started with half marathons and 10Ks and stuff like that, and just get back to that. Something that's a little simpler, easier on the schedule too. So no 5 and 6 hour training rides that keep, and that's just the ride. Add 2 or 3 hours to your whole day getting there and recovery and feeling like a sack of potatoes once you're done. So let's
you're
pump the
gonna
brakes a little bit.
you're gonna miss it, man.
Oh, I'm sure, but there's other things.
I don't know about that.
Which part? Other things or missing it?
Missing it. It's like those long rides, man.
There's
Those
always, I suffer FOMO bad. I actually know 2 guys that went after Kona and then went and did Arizona this past weekend.
Oh, really? Good for them.
And oddly, I had a little bit of FOMO, which, whatever.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. You'll get through that. Well, since you're giving up, I think you kind of answered this a little bit here, but what kind of things do you use to cross train for triathlon?
This is so good. My wife Amanda goes to a CrossFit gym. To seriously answer this, and in the winters, I'll go to do strength training, and I'll do stuff there. The gym's fantastic. The people are great, and they open my weird endurance habits, or they accept my weird endurance habits anyway into their gym and let me hang out. So I enjoy doing that, and just something different, and try to work what I don't work in the season, because in the season I don't do that extra stuff that I probably should do. And so it's good to just kind of do something that's a little different and that. So that's probably it as it goes to the purpose of helping my training.
All right.
Yeah, no, there's not a lot. Yeah.
Cross train with CrossFit.
There you go.
Why not? All right, buddy. Here's one of my favorite questions. Tell us what team pain means to you.
From French Lick. So do you want to say where this started?
Yeah, sure.
All right, you do that, and then I'll tell you my definition.
Where
did this begin?
I think I know. I think it was at Louisville, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know where it came from, but I do remember the crowning moment when we passed each other on the run course, and we were so in so much pain at that moment that we both stuck our hands out. We were going different ways, and we both stuck our hands out like to give each other a slap, and we at the last minute both pulled back, and we barely touched fingertips.
It was the faintest of high five.
It was the lamest, weakest, softest hand slap.
It was. You know, I was going to say Louisville too, and then while you were saying it, I think it happened at one of the Nashville tri camps. We talked about it, or you and I joked about it first,
right.
And then brought it back for Louisville. But it is, to me, it is just that it's all pain, right? All this stuff that we do, and we're very masochistic for loving it. Like, we enjoy the pain, and there's a part of us that embraces it and know that it's going to make us better, faster, stronger, healthier, whatever. To me, team pain, aside from high fives, the daintiest, tiniest of high fives, it's more about just, we know in the end that we're bettering ourselves, and it does hurt, but it's a unique team, the triathlon world, whatever, that we get to do this stuff. So yeah, that's my hot take.
No, I mean, that's good. I think we were kind of identifying with this sort of camaraderie of going through this shit,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And, yeah, I think you're right. It did probably start at a camp, and then.
And that day, the high five joke aside, that was a miserable day. I mean, it was 45 degrees and raining on the bike. It was, and then, which was great for the run for me, but on the bike, no one was happy. No one was happy.
Yeah, I recall that being a rough situation for sure.
Yeah.
But team pain helped me get through it. I appreciate it, buddy.
Absolutely, me as well.
And the question I've been asking everybody, and I think, I don't know if you answered this or not, but since we got it, let's say, what's on your bucket list?
So yeah, sort of hit it. I've tried a few times. I really want to go to Boston. Boston's not very nice, and they just lowered all the standards by 5 minutes. So I got to find another 5 minutes on a time I've never hit before. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, 5 minutes means 10 minutes. And by the time you get to it.
Yeah, maybe. That's the problem. You don't know. You don't know what the time is needed. You
Yeah.
just know the first one gets you in the door, and then they decide who gets entry. So I would love to do rim to rim to rim of the Grand Canyon R3.
Mm-hmm.
That I've done it one direction once, and me and some local friends keep talking about it. I don't know when it's going to happen, but talk about team pain. That's a rough one.
Yeah. How long
So
does that take, rim to rim?
one direction took us 10 hours. I mean, some people do it 6 to 7. We were kind of casual about it, but the R3, that's going to be a 16 to 20 hour endeavor. It's all of the day.
Okay,
It's
but
20 miles each way across, 21 miles, something like that. And to go across and back in the same day.
that
So,
sounds good.
yeah. Yeah. And then non-sport wise, I've always wanted to fly. Like my head's been in the clouds since I was a child, like the smallest kid. And so I think in the spring, I'm going to start working on my pilot's license. That's been a big bucket
Oh,
list thing. Yeah.
okay. I thought you meant one of those flying suits things.
The squirrel suit. Yeah, I could do that too.
If you do that, let me know. I want to bring my video camera.
I promise you, you don't worry about when that's happening because it's not.
Boy, that would be fun to watch you do.
I disagree.
I don't know why. I just really get a kick out of that thought.
No way. No way. I think I swore I'd never do it. Going back to the last thing on the bucket list, I think an ultra is probably going to happen sometime. I think like the 50 miler. I got to pace our buddy Wes Keene.
Oh, you did? Okay, yeah.
I got to pace Wes in Chattanooga there a few years ago in a 50 miler, and I was like, yeah, this is crazy. I might as well try it. So I think that'd be my next. Say again.
Moab would be a good one for you. Or Badwater. I think Badwater would be better, actually.
No, I'll take the easy. No, thank you. I'm good.
There's a lot of squirrel suit opportunities out there.
That's the problem. And death opportunities, I think, too. I'll pass.
Yeah, for sure, man. All right, Chuck. Well, I appreciate you joining us, man.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Always great to catch up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Forever, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for everything you do, and we'll be catch up again shortly.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds good. Take care, Mike.
See you, buddy.